Hello Tucker Tribe, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Had to open the door so it stops creaking. Today I'm going to be discussing all things first trimester. As most of you know, I am pregnant with my second baby and I am about halfway through my second trimester right now. I think maybe a little bit more than halfway actually. So I wanted to get down all of my thoughts about first trimester while they were still fresh in my memory. So basically what I'm going to do is just run through some common questions that I get about my first trimester. The first question, when did we find out? We actually found out that I was pregnant December 2nd, and it was honestly kind of shocking because I had tested 2 weeks prior because we were moving. And as most of you know, we were living in Folsom up until the end of November. We decided to actually move back down here to San Diego. We actually only lived in Folsom for about 3 months, but Chase's mom unexpectedly passed away, which was a shock for everybody. So we decided that we needed to move down here to be closer to family. We actually moved in with Chase's dad to help him with the transition of life and help him get through it. So we actually are living with Chase's dad currently, and it's been great and it's really nice to be closer to family. Long story short, I had tested 2 weeks prior to when I found out because we were gonna move. We decided in like one weekend we were gonna pack everything up and move back down here, and I didn't want to lift anything heavy or like lift heavy boxes if I was pregnant. So I tested and it was negative. I actually was pregnant at the time, but I think I just wasn't far enough along to where a test would come out positive. So I tested the day before we packed up the U-Haul and came down to San Diego, and it was negative. So I thought for sure that I wasn't pregnant. And then I missed my period in December, or in the end of November, and December 2nd rolled around, took the test, came back positive. I do like to get the clear blue tests, which are a little bit more expensive, but just because if I suspect I'm pregnant, I want to know yes or no. I don't want to guess with like faint lines and try to like figure out the code. I just, yes or no, pregnant, not pregnant, I need to know. So yeah, we found out December 2nd because I missed my period. How did I tell Chase? It wasn't really anything special because of everything we were going through at the time. I'm not good at keeping a secret, so I wouldn't have been able to like plan anything. I didn't plan anything with Kennedy. I didn't plan anything with this baby. I just literally came out of the bathroom with the test and I was like, surprise. I'm pretty sure he was still asleep. I'm pretty sure I tested at like 6:30 in the morning because you're supposed to pee in the morning on the stick because your first pee is like the best one to use to see if you're pregnant or not. He was pretty shocked too because we had been trying, but we stopped when everything kind of happened and we knew that life was kind of throwing us this curveball and we didn't know what to expect. We kind of stopped trying. We were like, okay, maybe this isn't the right time, but clearly God's timing, it was the right time. I ended up being pregnant and we are both very, very excited. I wanted my baby to be like my babies, to be like 2 years apart. That was my grand master plan that I made in my brain, all of my babies to be 2 years apart. And just the way that it worked out with the move and the new job and the transition, we didn't start trying for this baby until Kennedy turned 2. So they weren't gonna be 2 years apart, there was no way. So now they will be almost exactly 3 years apart, which I think is still fine. Doesn't go exactly to my grand master plan, but it totally works out probably for the best. So how did we feel when we found out we were pregnant? We were super shocked, super happy. It is definitely a weird time. It was a little bit of like a light in the darkness that we were experiencing in that moment. We actually did end up losing our dog a little bit later. I think it was January 13th-ish. We lost our dog Khalil, unfortunately, to stomach cancer, and that was really hard as well. It was really difficult for me to emotionally go through while I was like in my first trimester. You're so emotional already, and then we lost Chase's mom, and then we lost our dog, and our dog was like our emotional support animal, and it was a really emotional time for all of us, and I was wrecked. We were all wrecked. It was really, really hard. We're actually getting a new dog here in a couple weeks. He's already been born. We're getting another lab and we're gonna go pick him up in a couple weeks, so we're really excited about that, and I'll make sure to vlog that too so you guys can see it. Did I know if I was pregnant before I took the test? I suspected that I might be. I was a little bit apprehensive, obviously, because I had tested 2 weeks prior and it came up negative. So I was like, well, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just too stressed out because of everything that's going on. Maybe it's just my period's not gonna come this month because I'm stressed, whatever. Or I'm pregnant. Those were like the two decisions. Either I'm too stressed to get my period or I'm pregnant. And it turned out I was pregnant. So I kind of suspected it was like gonna go one of two ways. Obviously it goes one of two ways, yes or no. But I was leaning more to the side of, oh, I'm just not gonna get my my period because I'm too stressed out, and I ended up being pregnant. It was a nice surprise, definitely. How did we tell our families? I actually went and got my 8-week sonogram done the day before Christmas Eve. So Chase's dad, we told that day. We had Kennedy like bring him the sonogram picture or the ultrasound picture with the little peanut baby in it, and at first he like picks it up and he looks at it and he's like, oh, this is so cute. Did you draw this? And Chase was like, no, Dad, look at it. And he like looked at it again. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So he's super excited for sure. And then my family, we actually told on Christmas Eve. We do this big dinner at my grandma's house every year. My mom's side of the family is Italian. So we do the big Feast of the Seven Fishes. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it, but we have crab legs and fish and lots of other things. And we do that on Christmas Eve. And so I figured that was the perfect time to tell everybody because everybody was gonna be together, so I could just tell everybody at one time. I was trying to get together some photos to put in a frame to send to my other grandma who lives in Missouri. I'm sure you guys have seen my Cole Camp vlogs, that's where she lives. So I asked my parents to help me pick out a photo, and the day before I had taken a photo of Kennedy holding the sonogram up. I can put the photo right here. It's super cute, holding the sonogram up saying like, oh, I'm pregnant. And so I put that photo in the stack of photos, and then I had them like pick. I was like, pick a photo that you think I should send to grandma. And my dad and mom were like going through them, and my mom's like, why do you want me to pick a photo? Just choose one. I don't care. She like didn't get, and I was trying to be like quirky and like, hey, come find out that I'm pregnant in like a cool way. She was like, I don't want to pick a photo. You just pick whichever one you want. I don't care. But you'll see her reaction is kind of funny because she is like the last thing she expected. She kept asking me over and over again, are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? Because she knew I wanted my babies like 2 years apart. So she kept asking me, and I kept telling her no, because I didn't think I was, because I had tested in November saying that it wasn't. Then in December, I got the positive, but I didn't want to tell her I was pregnant until I knew I was pregnant. And I went to the doctor and I got the ultrasound that showed the heartbeat. That was a lot for one sentence. So I kept telling her, no, I'm not pregnant. And then when she got the picture, she's like, I asked you if you were pregnant. You kept telling me you weren't. But I'll put that video here so you guys can watch that.
That's your. What's
Surprise!
Feel my
Shut up! Shut up, Kayla!
That's why.
Shut up!
I know, surprise!
Morgan knows!
Morgan already knows. So it was a very fun night. My uncle actually called me out at the dinner table because, and this is the next question, what kind of symptoms did you have? I was so nauseous and like not hungry for the first 10 weeks probably of my pregnancy. I never actually like got sick, but it's just like overall like just not feeling good. And so I just didn't want to eat. He called me out for not eating. He was like, what, are you pregnant? And like said it in front of the whole table, and Chase and I were like, no, not pregnant. But yeah, he totally kind of ruined that one. Nobody else picked up on it because we kind of like denied it. We were like, no. But he definitely spoiled the surprise a little bit. Thanks, Uncle Jasper, for calling me out on that one. Another symptom I had was my boobs were so sore. They weren't really sore at the time that I tested. They were a little bit, but not like anything different. But I swear, probably like the 6-week mark, I couldn't even put my bra on. Still to this day, my boobs are so sore. They hurt so bad all the time. It's crazy. I have been peeing so much with this baby from the get-go. From the moment I found out I was pregnant, I feel like I have to pee every 20 minutes. I don't understand how. I get up like 6 times a night to pee. It's very strange. My bladder's like this big. A weird symptom I have this time is dizziness. I'm very dizzy all the time. I don't know why. My doctor, there's nothing wrong with my blood work. Everything's coming back normal. I do have to go take the glucose test in a couple weeks. My doctor says it's nothing to worry about. It's kind of normal, but like I'll just be sitting at my work computer at home doing my work, and all of a sudden the room will start to spin. I'm like, whoa, weird. And then I'm fine. But yeah, the dizziness thing is very strange. I was never dizzy with Kennedy. For some reason with this baby, I'm very dizzy all the time. And then the last symptom, if you can even call it a symptom, it definitely is from pregnancy, but it was one of the scariest moments of my life. At around 13-ish weeks, maybe 12, I did get a subchorionic hematoma. I'll do a whole video explaining the process of what my signs and symptoms were, what I did for it, etc. But basically kind of to wrap it up in a nice little bow and give it to you. Trigger warning, if you have dealt with miscarriage, I am going to talk about it next. I was bleeding a lot. I thought I was miscarrying. I called my doctor. It was a Saturday morning, so I had to call the hospital triage. And they were kind of like, there's nothing we can do. You kind of just have to wait it out to see. So I ended up going to the emergency room. Everything was fine. And in that video, I'll link it below once I post it. I'm going to post it in the next couple weeks. But basically, where your placenta attaches to your uterus, sometimes blood can pool behind it. And then when your placenta is trying to like attach in that spot, the blood has to come out, obviously, or the placenta can't attach. So the blood is coming out, and it wasn't just a little bit, it was a lot. It was definitely very scary. One of the scariest moments of my life, especially because I have loved both my babies from the second I knew I was pregnant, and so it was really hard, especially having to go through that by myself because coronavirus, Chase could not come to the ER with me, so I had to go by myself, and it was terrifying to have to go through that by yourself. Generally, having to go get an ultrasound by yourself to find out if your pregnancy is viable is really hard. So I applaud all single moms, anybody trying to do it by themselves, any mom going through this through coronavirus. Props to you guys, because this has been one of the hardest pregnancies emotionally for that reason. I've already been such an emotional wreck the entire time. I really thought that I was miscarrying because of my emotions from when my mother-in-law passed away and when we lost our dog, and just I cried for probably like 2 months straight because I was just so upset, and it was just such a hard time. And I thought that I did this to my baby because I was so emotionally distressed under so much. I thought I did this to my baby. I can't believe that I would let myself, you know, get so emotional that I would miscarry or lose my baby because I can't control my emotions. Obviously that wasn't the case, but that's where my mind was at in that moment. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a different video, and I'll link that down in the description box so you guys can check that out. Differences from my first pregnancy to this pregnancy. The biggest difference is just that Chase really can't come with me to the appointments, which is really hard. I hate doing this by myself. I hate going by myself, not knowing, getting tests back without him there to just hold my hand and tell me everything's gonna be okay. It's really hard to go through by yourself. And then my OBGYN is actually retiring, which stinks because she delivered Kennedy. I delivered it Sharp Mary Birch the first time. And the way that it kind of works is whoever's on call, whichever OBGYN is on call at that moment, is the one who delivers your baby. Well, it just so happened that my OBGYN was on call when I gave birth to Kennedy. So she was able to actually deliver my baby. So she was gonna try to be on call for this baby as well, or come in, even if she wasn't. Through a series of events, she is no longer going to be working anymore, not due to anything other than it's just time for her to retire. So I actually have a new OBGYN in the same clinic, but this time I'm gonna be delivering at UCSD Jacobs in La Jolla, and that hospital is brand spanking new. So I'm super excited because I heard the rooms are really nice comparatively to Sharp Mary Birch. My experience at Sharp Mary Birch was great. I have no complaints at all, but I am excited to kind of see the difference between the two hospitals and see like the room setup and what the differences are. I'll do a hospital comparison after I have this baby at UCSD Jacobs, but that is something I am bummed but also excited about. Have I had any cravings? Yes. For some reason I crave Jersey Mike's sandwiches, specifically the Italian, the original Italian. I crave it. I don't know why. I get the big one. I get it chopped up into small pieces. I eat a little bit and I put that Olive Garden Italian dressing on it, and it's so good. I know you're not supposed to eat lunch meat while you're pregnant. I can't help it. It's all I want to eat. I don't eat it every day, not even every week, but I definitely am thinking about it a lot and thinking about when I can have my next Jersey Mike's sandwich. So Jersey Mike's, if you want to sponsor me, I love your Italian sandwich, and so does my baby. Throughout my first trimester, I've just not really generally been that hungry, especially at night, which is weird because like you would think the morning you're like nauseous, you're getting up, you don't want to eat. For me, it's like nighttime. When the nighttime rolls around, I'm like not hungry. I don't even want to cook dinner because I'm like, ugh, yuck, food sounds gross. It's getting a little bit better now. Kenny, I think my daughter just woke up from her nap. Would you like to come up here? Okay, they're on the counter. Go grab them and bring them here and I'll help you get some. I get the grapes for you? Hold on one second, I need to get the grapes for my child. Kennedy has joined us here. She's gonna eat her grapes in the background. So around 12 weeks pregnant, I did the sneak peek gender results test, which you can actually find out what the gender of your baby is starting at 8 weeks. So I waited until I was like 12 weeks pregnant. With Kennedy, we went to, there she is. With Kennedy, we went to like a 3D ultrasound place called Mommy and Me here in San Diego, and they told us the gender at 14 weeks. But I thought it was pretty cool because you can test starting at 8 weeks. I went ahead and I did that blood test. I'm not gonna tell you guys the gender yet, but I will tell you that the gender was correct. There is a possibility for some false gender results. So let's say Chase is like to cough in the wrong direction while I'm doing the test. His DNA will get in the tube. So basically you have to like sanitize everything, wash your hands. Sanitize everything, wash your hands really thoroughly. You have to like scrub underneath your fingernails just to make sure you remove any foreign DNA. And then you prick yourself with this little tiny needle, squeeze some blood into a vial and send it away to the lab, and then they give you the results in a couple days. So we did that in January, and I will tell you that our gender results were correct, and we'll do a gender reveal and a name reveal video very soon. And I think that's it. That was pretty much my first trimester experience, and I will do another video comparing my first trimester with Kennedy to my first trimester with this baby. Overall, it's been a great experience, and I do need to shout out my sister. I did tell her right after I told Chase, I texted her a picture of a pregnant woman emoji, and I was like, this is me right now, and she was like, OMG, and I was like, yeah. So shout out Morgan, she knew before everybody else. It's been pretty easy so far, and I can't wait to update you guys with more. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell. That way you're notified every time we post a new video. And thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
We'll see you later.
I'm dancing hours away, but I still feel alone. So I go order one more shot. In my dreams I pick you up. I just want